Hunting is a new skill with the forging update that branches out into all parts of the game. Improving the skill and your attributes can not only help you deal more damage, but farm more efficiently, fish faster, and get RNG drops way more often. This hunting guide will show you how to utilize traps for difficult attributes, while also teaching you how to get every single shard in the game without taking an hour of your time. So how does hunting work? To start out, there's two ways to get shards in hunting in Hypixel Skyblock: charming or capturing mobs. Charming a mob can come from salts and hunting skill, giving you a chance of, when you kill a direct mob, or a mob that can be captured for a shard, in other words, the chance to charm it. It rolls, and if it's successful, you will drop the shard, giving you those nice buffs without any extra work. Next is capturing a shard, which can be done from black holes, lassos, and fishing nets. Giving you a number of shards based off of your hunting fortune. With guaranteed chances, this allows you to go and farm specific shards to either max out or combine with other shards in the fusion table to get even more buffs. But it comes with the negative of having to use slower tools with cooldowns to kill each mob individually. Sadly, a lot of shards in this game can be a very long process, but luckily, there's a way to double if not triple the speed of gathering shards through hunting fortune. Hunting fortune acts similar to every other fortune in the game, giving you more shards per a charm or a capture. For example, if you have 100 fortune, this will guarantee 2 shards when a mob is captured or charmed. Then, even better, if you have 150 fortune, you will guarantee to get 2 shards with a 50% chance to roll another shard, giving you 3 shards, therefore speeding up the process for specific shard grinds by insane speeds. First is the core mechanic about hunting is fusing, but you'll need to know how to get shards before this. So here's how you get every single shard in the game. To start, it all goes from 3 categories, starting with fishing net, the main benefactor of this category being shellwise. Next, black holes, a major way to get all shards in the game, especially for fusion, to get bulk amounts of shards to make some of the best shards in the game, like 25% more range damage. Lastly is the lasso. This helps with capturing mobs like more magic find, better pest drops, and mana regen. Since only 2% of you guys are subscribed watching this video, I have a way to fix that. I'm gonna go ahead and MLG one of the most expensive items in my backpack. In return, you're gonna give me your like and subscribe. I'm MLGing this, bro. Take off my armor. I got it, holy flippin' crud. Let's get back to the video, bro. Now, to find what mobs can actually be caught with a fishing net, just right click David Hunter Burrow, go to hunting tools, and go to fishing nets. In fishing nets, it'll show everything to be captured with a fishing net, alongside with everything that can be caught with a lasso, and a pocket black hole. This isn't every single shard of the game that can be harvested, because there's different shards that we can caught from charming and hunting traps. Then you can make your way to the big mangrove tree in the middle of the Galatea and reach in your hunting toolkit just for the sake of organization and grab a basic fishing net. The better the fishing net, the more damage it can deal to a mob, and the quicker you'll be able to harvest these attributes. Pretty much every single fishing attribute within the fishing net menu can be found in this pond. I'm going to equip my diving set. This is the lowest set you can get, and I can talk about more about respiration and water pressure in a little bit, but first I'm going to show you these basic mobs and how to get them. Start out, there's these green fish called verdants. They're really easy to get, as you can see. Just right clicking them once is going to drop 1 or 2 based off how much hunting fortune you have, and they're pretty common around the Galatea. The next is the azure. It's these blue fish that can easily be right clicked and one tap too, similar to the verdant, just a little bit less common. Next, going to the slightly more difficult fish is the cod, which all you need to do is right click to spin it. If you have a lower type of fishing net, all you have to do is spam right click on it to do this, and it will die. But if you have a higher fishing net, you need to be careful, because if you spin too high and do too much damage at once, it'll end up failing and you won't be able to catch it. Another attribute in here that can be found is the salmon. This one is also pretty simple. All you do is pretty much just right click it until it dies. Now, moving on to some more harder or complicated shards is the dolphin or the joy dive. You just right click it and follow it to its cave. You can also do multiple at once if you want to have better raids farming these, and they go into these little nooks and crannies into the wall, and then you just sit here and hold right click on it until it drops the shard. The cool trick you can do to right click faster is just hold right click on a plant or something, and then as you can see, it's spamming way faster. The next shard in here is the shellwise. These are pretty uncommon and are pretty difficult to find in large amounts. Most people actually do come in parties to do this. The lower net is not that great against it, but it can still get the job done if you're just trying to max it out for that 0 knockback. They come in 2 different forms. One has 1000 HP and it drops less shards than the one with 1500 HP as the one I have here. You can definitely loot share it and find these in parties if you want to harvest it quicker. Now, there's 2 mobs that are left with the fishing net. One actually can be found outside of this area, with being this axolotl, and all you want to do is have stealth and then stand next to it and wait for this bar to go away, and once gone, you just right click it. You just ether warp right on top of it, and stealth should make sure it holds in place. And if you right click too early, it'll get scared and run away. Now, the very last shard, sadly I cannot show you an example because I'm broke and suck at forging, is the spike. This is pretty much a very difficult shard, which is honestly more for people who are further progressed, as it's pretty much immune to every single fishing net in the game except for the maxed out one. This is because the better the fishing net, the further the range, and if you stay away from a distance and right click it, you're able to capture it from a distance. And I actually juked you. There's about 1 more mob you can actually farm here. In order to get to it, you want to find this NPC Jaeger, and you want to drop down into the water like this, and then follow this and hug your left. Then you'll find this area, which you need a lot of pressure resistance, and you want to just spam right click on these glow squids. They'll teleport 3 different times until they get really small and die. They'll give you this nice pressure resistance shard, which can definitely help. Now, speaking about pressure resistance, let's talk about different ways to get this. Not only is pressure resistance useful, but also respiration. Pressure resistance will stop you from taking damage the deeper you go, and respiration will allow you to hold your breath underwater longer, and once you run out of respiration, you'll eventually take damage too. From the Nemo, you can get the basic set of diving armor that gives respiration and pressure resistance, and then you can get respiration 4 for a whopping 4 million coins for a little bit more respiration. And then you can upgrade this armor into divers, and then into abyssal with these recipes. And then 2 attributes you can get is Joy Dive and Lumi Squids, which I just showed you how to get. And probably one of the best ways to get pressure resistance is in the heart of the forest at Hotum 4, giving 50, alongside of the Respiration Talisman, which can be found in the rift in the mountain biome, just by crafting a bunch of puff crunches. The useful attribute you get from Kiara is the Eel Shard. This gives you increased pull by 1 by using fishing nets. It's quite expensive, 350,000 coins each, and you can buy 6 every day. You can go ahead and put this into your hunting bag and consume it for about 10 extra pull, making your fishing net pretty much 3 times better than the initial basic fishing net. So it's definitely useful if you're not planning on investing large amounts of money into the turbo fishing net. There's also the pressure resistance artifact, which gives 30 pressure resistance and also comes along with some nice MP. Now the next thing is black holes, which I suggest having a combat set for because you're going to want to be able to do damage with this. And then go ahead and get your hands on a hunt axe. Hunt axe is definitely not required, but to actually get a mob into the black hole, it needs to have below 10% HP. So for example, a ghost has 1,000,000 health, so if you were to wanted to get it into your black hole, it would need to have about 100,000 HP. But as you can see here, if I try to fight a ghost, I quite quickly accidentally kill it, even to my fire aspect enchantment, which is definitely not convenient if I'm trying to get attributes for it. So what you can do is go ahead and hit a mob a couple times, and before it dies, you can either have it right next to your black hole so it gets in quickly. Another way you can do it is hit it, and then hit it with your axe, and then go ahead and just finish it off with your axe. Now most mobs you're actually going to farm with a black hole are relatively easy to kill. Just as an example here, Glaciate Walkers are a pretty big part of a lot of fusion recipes, but they just take 2 hits with pretty much anything and don't take a lot of effort. Even mobs like Lapis Zombies can need to be farmed a lot just to be able to get some nice shards. But you end up just finding yourself waiting on a black hole for very long periods of time. So to actually make it a little bit quicker, there's a couple attributes that can make your process double if not triple the speed. With those attributes being King Cobra Shard for 10% more hunting fortune, and the Python Shard for 50% faster black hole. And some other shards for specific rarities would be the Newt Shard, Salamander Shard, the Lizard King Shard, the Leviathan Shard, and the Megalith Shard. All these shards in combination, a maxed out hunting load, and a high hunting level can make grinds go from 20 hours to 5. And this definitely helps a lot. This is where I'm going to drop some incredible ball knowledge. The website Skyshards can pretty much just instantly calculate how long it's going to take and what shards you need for a specific shard. So for example, if I want the Skeletor Shard, which gives 25% more range damage, it would tell me 1 minute per shard. It would take 49 minutes to get the 48 shards I need to max it out, and even how long I would spend fusing. And as you can see, I need about 420 Glaciate Walkers and 300 Lapis Zombies, and I would combine 300 Lapis Zombies with 300 Glaciate Walkers to make 120 Lapis Skeletons. And I would combine the Lapis Skeletons with Glaciate Walkers to make Skeletors. And even better, if you want to put your hunting fortune in here, let's say you have 150 hunting fortune and maybe a level 10 Newt and a level 10 Python and a level 10 King Cobra and a level 10 Lizard King, go ahead and also put this right back into the calculator, and as you can see, it goes from an hour to 13 minutes. You could even talk about normal profiles, which would be easier money-wise, and see for some flips that might be profitable. Now, you might be wondering, when am I going to tell you how to get these shards and where to find them? There's just so many different mobs that can be caught in a pocket black hole that it's almost absurd if I were to go and waste your time by showing you how to find every single one of them. Just using this page on the David Hunter Burrow, go to Hunting Tools, Pocket Black Holes, you can go ahead and find which mobs can be pocket black hole. Once you find the mob you want to pocket black hole, for example, if I want to do a Burning Soul for this nice 10 bonus attack speed, all I have to do is just open up the Hypixel wiki and search up Burning Soul. And after searching that up, I just click the first thing here, and it'll tell me what a Burning Soul is and where to find it. Burning Soul is a mini boss that comes from the Inferno Demon Lord tier 4. So if I want to farm these, I'd have to start a tier 4 Slayer quest and hit these to 10% HP and put them in a black hole. Now the last tool is the Lasso. The Lasso can catch only 6 different mobs. The 3 phantoms that drop out of a tree gift, pests, XYZs, and Cinderbats. So the pests give a pretty nice buff for more pest drops. The XYZ shard gives 10% mana regen, just like the old attributes. And the Cinderbat gives 5 Magic Find, which is also one of the better shards. Both the Cinderbat and the XYZ are found in the Crimson Isle. The XYZ we found in the Mage right side pretty commonly, while the Cinderbats are a little bit more rare, scattered throughout. That's about it with the lassos. There's really only 6 total mobs in the entire game that can be caught with a lasso. Next part about hunting is pretty underused, and I don't see a lot of people doing this, and it's pretty much hunt traps. These hunt traps just allow you to place it in any specific spot you want, and then it just gives you the attribute in 12 to like 15 hours based off how much hunting fortune you have. So for example, an attribute that I cannot get but is incredibly useful is the burning soul shard. To actually get these, I'd have to start a quest for tier 4 blaze and then get a burning soul demon to 10% HP, which is incredibly difficult when my best combat set is just Necron. That being said, you can use astral traps to your advantage and get these without any combat and without any work in the first place other than just right clicking in the Crimson Isle. So in order to do this, you just want to make your way into the Crimson Isle and follow my path. Once you're in the Blaze Slayer spot or the Smoldering Tomb, you can go ahead and reach into your hunting box and find Astral Hunt Traps. Astral Hunt Traps are the best type of hunt trap in the game, and basically the way these work is you place them in specific areas, and then after 12 to 15 hours, it'll drop you a shard of any choice, also being multiplied by hunting fortune. So for example, if I place my traps here, like so, and I come back in 15 hours, a chat message will show up and I can just left click it and I can claim my easy burning soul shards without having to be able to kill a tier 4. You can do this for other parts in the game simply by opening your hunting box, going into your hunting box, and if you have more than 30 shards, you can turn on advanced mode and click something. Let's say for example I wanted a way to get show wise easier because I'm finding it too difficult. I can just go over the how to hunt, and if it gives the option of place traps in, you can go place traps in that specific area and get the shard. Alright, for the last thing is how to get every single hunting tool. So I find the hunting toolkit very useful. All you have to do is shift and right click and you can open and hold all your hunting tools in here, but how to get each individual tool can be a little bit difficult. So you can get the hunting toolkit from this shop at the very start, and then if you make your way to the left of the shop, you can find Albert, who sells both black holes for a pretty cheap price. Next is the hunt axe and the lasso. These can both be found from a drop in a mango tree called vine sap, where you can make the prime hunt axe for a pretty expensive recipe vine sap wise, and then an Everstretch lasso which costs a lot of main cores and a small amount of vine sap. After that, with your tender wood, which you get from fig trees and the tree gifts, you can make astral hunt traps, but you definitely need to go down the chain, and it gets a little bit expensive on this last craft, but I definitely noticed a difference by a lot as it's 15% quicker, which definitely is a lot when it's taking for 10 to 15 hours into account, saving you maybe 2 to 3 hours just by giving this upgrade. And then you're gonna need about 5 of these, as 5 is the maximum amount you're allowed to place down. The last thing is the basic fishing net, where the recipe can be found in sea loomies, and towards the end here you can see the turbo fishing net, the maxed out variant. The basic fishing net is just made of 32 sea loomies, but once you start upgrading, it starts to cause flex bones, which are very difficult and hard to find. The best way to fish up flex bones is to come to Nemo here and make your way over this way, and then walk towards this nice NPC here. If you fish in this area, all you can find is treasure, meaning you won't be fishing up any sea creatures, and you'll probably be fishing up more flex bones. And then once you finish this recipe, you'll have a turbo fishing net, which is definitely convenient for loads of different things and can even be a money making method in itself by using it. Thank you for watching the video. If you guys have any questions, comment down below, and if I have any corrections or updates, I'll try to pin a comment and change the description. I will be making a Discord server at 500 subs, so make sure you guys like and subscribe so I can get those subs, so I can have a Discord server to make these tutorials a lot more easier, convenient, and answer even more questions. And also check out these other 2 videos. They're also pretty cool, I guess, whatever.